Happy Saturday, good morning. After I've had breakfast, we're going to go into deepest Oxfordshire and walk along the Thames path.
Welcome to another episode of Toby's Stupid Vlog.
This is Reading Station. Let me explain what's happening this morning. So I'm getting the train to Didcot Parkway, which is beyond this mess of electrification down there. Then from Didcot Parkway, Tom is picking me up on his way through, and we are driving to the end point of the walk, which is near Abingdon, just south of Oxford. We're meeting Steve there. Steve is also driving to Abingdon from Bristol. Then we leave Tom's car at the end point. We all get into Steve's car and we drive to the start point, and then we start the walk, and we basically walk all the way back to Tom's car, and then Tom drives us back to Steve's car at the beginning. See what I mean? And then I get back on a train and everyone else drives home and it's all good. In the meantime, it's going to be very warm. Okay, so now I just need to find Tom, who is... I don't know where he is. Presuming that he will let me know when he's nearby. He said he was running 10 minutes late, so that's fine. So was the train. Everything's in sync.
Later, I was working in the day, and an old couple came and sat with me, and we got chatting. And he was a producer for BBC, worked in Doctor Who. Oh, cool! He was quite interesting, but he had a stroke and a bit difficult to understand.
How selfish.
Yeah.
Look, Steve, it's a campsite.
Oh, I would like to stay there.
Okay, that's... Where are we, though?
I don't know.
Colham.
We're near Culham. So now everyone knows. is Nag's Head coming into Abingdon, which is like, I don't know how far from where we started, but we've done the long way essentially by walking along the river. It's not actually very far from Culham. We've had to do a big loop.
No one's commented on the money.
I enjoy the most about taking pictures. Sending the pictures to Sarah, she gets incredibly jealous.
Yes.
It's too subtle.
Still waiting for people to come out of the pub. This is Abingdon, as you saw. So it has been a very hot walk up to this point. Very, very hot. I'm saying how hot it is, Steve. So we were going to go like another, what, I don't know, 7 miles after this? Or something stupid.
Look at the difference. Here's what happened last time we walked. Now you have to clip it.
The weather has turned from being confusing to being just straight bad. And you'll notice that I stopped filming before it got really dramatic. How would you describe last time's weather?
Well, we've gone from Arctic to temperate.
Yes, nearly tropical.
Yeah, subtropical. Why are you wearing a light here?
It's lovely, the Oxfordshire countryside. It has been very hot today, and as you saw, a bit of drone footage before lunch, but we gave it up after lunch because it was just a bit too warm for how far we wanted to go. So rather than suffering like we did last time, we actually made a sensible decision and stayed in Abingdon. So, very nice day though, very nice indeed. Morning, happy Monday, happy July. It's a lovely day. The squirrels are out, the pigeons are out, and I'm nearly as hungry as he is. So I'm going to go and buy some bits and bobs today. For the first time, I don't have any overhanging projects, but I do have a couple of things that Tom has recently given me. So I'm going to start work on those, start thinking about Dublin next week, and write my letter to RHP to say that I would like to re-stand as a board member, so that I can go for my interview tomorrow. So I've already told them that I want to re-stand informally, but in order to be considered you have to formally write a letter saying this is your intent to serve another term if approved by the shareholders. So I have to put it in writing now. Just showing off my kimchi fried rice masterpiece because it hasn't been done in a while and it's amazing. Good morning. It's just after 9 o'clock and I'm walking reasonably quickly to Teddington because I have my board member interview to re-stand. Been reading various bits this morning about our strategy and delegated powers and things to give myself something very particular to talk about. And it's a beautiful day, and it's one of the longest days of the year. I don't think I really dwelled on the equinox, not the equinox, the solstice much. Suffice to say, the days aren't particularly longer or shorter a couple of weeks either side because of the shape of the curve, as it were. So it's still beautiful, still lovely, and it's going to be kind of like this, not too hot, up until the point I get to Dublin, and then it's going to rain. So that's nice, isn't it? Like a welcome home shower. The glories of Richmond Park in half an hour, the long way, so I'm quite pleased with that. This walk usually takes about an hour and 45, and the reason for that is because I usually go like the clappers for the first 30-40 minutes and then slow down a bit afterwards. It's a shame I don't get up in the morning because this is the best part of the day, especially in summer, because the air's cool but the sun is hot and you can feel what the weather's going to be later on. But right now, you know, you can be out and about and walking, and I mean, I'm wearing jeans, which is a little bit mad, but I'm going to be sitting having a business meeting. It'd be rather weird in shorts, I guess. But it's lovely out. You can hear the grasshoppers and the birds. Can you see the bees swarming? You can hear them, but they're obviously angry about something. I know how they feel. It's probably Brexit. It's now upsetting the bees. It was only a matter of time. I'm back, mostly. That was a fascinating meeting, really good, and I'm going to be recommended to be reappointed to the board and as chair of one of the committees as well, so that's cool. I'm very much looking forward to it, and I mean, it's hard to know what the next 3 years are going to look like, to be honest. It's very hard to envisage much beyond the first week of October, but for as long as I can, I will be on the board of RHP, so that's cool. I realise I haven't really talked about baby things much. At the time of recording, I've literally only just put up the vlog with the announcement in, which is week 21, I think. It's like 5 weeks ago, maybe more. Yeah, 5 weeks ago, I think. So yeah, I've been terrible on that. I blame my June workload somewhat, but you know, it's all ticking along. Bump is bumping, and I mean, at this point there's not really a lot that I can do, or but you know, we've got NCT classes starting in August, which I think I might have mentioned before, and there's a few more meetings with midwives and what have you to go, so it's all just ticking along nicely at the moment. It's a really expensive wind chime. So here we are at the Grosvenor again. I'm at my usual desk. I'll show you. Got a nice picture of the ice rink behind. And the awards are going on down in the Great Room, the Motor Transport Awards. Very exciting. I've been doing crowd screens and social photography and all sorts, but I'm going to move my location now because I've probably done enough mess around over here, and the tweets are slowing a bit.
A full board at TSV. Thank you very much to you right at the back. Thank you so much. I'm now going to ask my husband in the sky, Alan, what was the total? What have these lovely people just raised?
My television wife, let me tell you that we have just, from that auction alone, raised £28,700!
Good afternoon. I've just had a haircut, which is, you know, my once a quarter activity that I've very much disliked doing, but always pays off, especially when it's really warm like today. I always have some weird observation about the hairdressers. Here's one. So if you're a guy, you'll particularly relate to this, because you know, in barbershops you don't tend to have an appointment, so you turn up and you see who's available. But a lot of guys have a preference for who they want to cut the hair, and if that person isn't working that day, they'll go away and come back. Isn't that odd? I think it's odd. I just get my hair cut. My requirements for a barber is that they have ideally 2 arms and they can see. That's about it, really. It's a beautiful warm summer's day, borderline hot in fact, and I'm going for a bit of a walk. You can guess where to. Tonight, my hotel of choice that I'll be working in the conference area of is the Park Plaza Westminster Bridge. Been there many times before, not as many times as the Grosvenor, to be fair. Grosvenor on Park Lane and the Hilton on Park Lane I've been to so many times it's now incalculable. But yeah, this is another reasonably regular venue. And I'll be doing much the same as I was yesterday. So all very low stress. Doing some more videos at the moment for the Imaging Blueprint peeps. They're quite fun, they're coming along, it'll be coming with me this evening. And then Monday, I'm off to Dublin. So a bit of packing will have to occur between now and then. Not a lot, because I'm not taking a lot, but a little bit. And yeah, that's about all that is planned currently. It's been nice to take it reasonably easy this week. And I've been enjoying the pace change. But I've got to get a bit more into the work mindset, so I'm a bit more alert next week. I don't know if you can hear that, but I can hear bees swarming somewhere. So I've come to try and narrow down where they are, because they'll need to get a beekeeper in here if that's happening. It's getting louder. Can't find them, and it hasn't helped that the planes have resumed their flight path, which they hadn't been on for about 5 minutes. I did find a large number of flies, like about 3,000 or 4,000 sort of hovering halfway up a tree. That could be what's causing it, but it didn't seem quite right. Anyway, it's not obvious, so it might not be bees. It could be flies. Who knows? The Park Plaza in Westminster, ginormous and, you know, great when there's no people in it. Crowd screen 1, crowd screen 2, crowd screen 3, and then this is crowd screen 4 there, just behind the pillar. It's literally a sea of balloons up here. I think last time I was in this room I saw Bananarama live, so I think it's Rob Beckett tonight. I like Rob, but, you know, he's not Bananarama, is he? Anyway, yeah, there's a lot of balloons. These are all the awards. About to go out, and this is a LED light strip that's doing that for no reason. Got my own room. It's massive. This is where everyone's going to come and eat later. So I'll be the first one near the food. But yeah, this is what's this happening. There's the crowd screen, just checking it all works. It does. Hurrah. I've just popped out because it is so cold in the venue. It's literally icy. You could be forgiven for thinking that it's winter. And you come out here and it's nice. I'm just going to see if I can see the last light over the Thames. Look, that is Houses of Parliament under scaffolding. What an excellent analogy for the reality of what's going on in there. Broadly speaking, the houses are in a terrible, terrible state. Rat infested, rotting, mould. They're literally crumbling from the inside out, and they've left it far too long to do anything useful with it. So now they're desperately trying to save it by, frankly, obscuring any sight of British democracy. It is really not good. And what's going on the inside is even worse. If it ends up surviving, it will be a bit of luck and a ridiculous amount of money, all of which could have been avoided with good preparation. There's about 28 awards, which is a lot of awards for mortgages. Hi there, good afternoon, happy Friday, etc. Let's do the word of the week before I forget. The word of the week is the verb to swim. to swim is the word of the week. So first of all, in German, the verb to swim is schwimmen. Schwimmen. That is the verb to swim. And so if you were to say I swim, you'd say ich schwimme. Ich schwimme. And in Italian, the verb to swim is nuotare. 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 And if you would say I swim, you'd say nuoto. Nuoto. So that is swim and swimming in German and Italian, and that was this week's word of the week. Now the reason it was is because that is where I'm going right now, to Pools on the Park to meet Crystal. We did this a fortnight ago, trying to do it a little more often, especially as the weather's nice. And yeah, I like swimming, so I was easily sold. So on a slightly different subject, I've been doing a lot of family history stuff recently because of this Dublin trip coming up. It's an excuse for me to sort of visit a few places that my family lived and worked in the past. And I'll show you a few things next week, which should be, hopefully, quite exciting for me at least. I hope you enjoy them. They're slightly odd, but that's why I'm going to be filming them. In between that, there's a steak challenge, which is also quite cool. But anyway, I always, when people say, where are you from? My default answer is London. But that's not what I don't perceive myself to be a Londoner. And that's probably because I grew up in Richmond, which is in the home counties. It is on the underground, but it's in Hertfordshire. And I always think, the family's a kind of home counties family, but that's just not, it just isn't true. So on my mum's side, obviously, her parents were both German, but they moved to the UK and they lived in London, in and around the Wembley area. That's where my mum grew up, proper London. And then on my dad's side, my dad is the first generation of his family who doesn't live in central London, but even he was born in Streatham in central London. We've been to the house, I think I've filmed it before. He's only moved out when I turned 1. So he was born in London. His dad was born in London and died in London. His dad was born and died in London. And his dad was born in Dublin but died in Whitechapel. And that's where the link comes from. So am I a Londoner? Well, I mean, yeah, probably I am really. I mean, in terms of lineage anyway. And I mean, I've been living in Kew, which, yes, is technically London, for now 10 years. Well, 10 years in December, so I don't know. I guess it's more about how you identify rather than where you technically are as a postcode. And I've never quite identified as a Londoner because I spent so much time in the home counties and then Bristol. Side note, I was born in Harrow, so, I mean, if you're going to apply the rules evenly, then I suppose that does technically make me a Londoner, but who knows.